Welcome to the Bothell City Council regular meeting of Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take me out.
All council members are here. Meeting agenda approval. I have a couple of quick things. If it's okay with the council, I'd like to move up the staff briefing and the visitor comment to right after the special presentation before we go to the closed session. There's some people that want to give public testimony and making them, we anticipate the closed session to be about 40 minutes long, so we figured we'd do the public comment first, if that's okay with everybody. Looks good, okay. Any other changes to tonight's agenda, Councilmember Sandberg?
If I could just have a moment of personal privilege to tell a little story, I'd appreciate that.
Do you have a time? How about we do it? Because we do have an attorney waiting to meet with us for the special presentation. Can we, or I'm sorry, the closed session. So can we do it right after the closed session?
Absolutely.
Okay. Deputy Mayor?
I'd like to pull February meeting minutes from consent.
Which day in February?
Shoot, I don't know.
Oh, it's all of them. Never mind. Consent agenda item A.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, is there any other changes? Councilmember Agnew?
Yeah, I'd like to pull 17074.
From consent? Okay. Got it. Councilmember Sandberg?
And then pull 17073.
I thought we were going to have a short meeting. Okay, those are, any other changes to tonight's agenda? Seeing none. Okay, so with that, we'll start into the projected agenda. Is there any changes to the projected agenda? Councilman Agnew?
Yeah, I'd like to ask the city manager if we could get an update on the fire department, the current conditions, the staffing, the equipment, the quarters, training, Fire Prevention Bureau, and an org chart from the fire department, if at all possible.
City manager, is that something you could chime in on?
Sure, I'd be happy to put that together. What kind of timeline are you looking at? We talked about the strategic plan once the new fire chief came on board.
Right.
So this would sort of be some of the work that would happen as part of the strategic plan.
Well, it's just we've heard contradictory things here and there, so I'd like to get a clarification of what's going on.
Okay.
Like an existing conditions type of
Right.
Current status?
report?
Current status.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you don't have a specific date in mind?
You know, I'd prefer it within a month if at all possible, but that's going to be entirely up to the agency. I don't know how much time Chief Ropke is going to need to put something like that together.
I'll work with him on that.
Thank you very much.
Happy to do that.
Any other projected agenda items? Seeing none, we'll go on to the special presentations. So we have the Affordable Housing Week proclamation, and that's me. So I'll come down to the podium. Oh, I forgot to add one other thing. I have another additional proclamation for tonight's agenda. It's about Bob Van Horne, an appreciation proclamation. So I forgot to add that, but I'll do it down to the podium. And is Ellen O'Hara, there you are. Hi. Come on up. Oh, I haven't signed it yet. Do that quick. Okay, so this is a proclamation of the City of Bothell, whereas all people should have access to safe, healthy, and affordable homes within their communities of opportunity, and whereas studies have found that each $100 increase in median rent results in a 15% increase in homelessness in metro areas and 39% increase in homelessness in near suburbs and rural areas, and whereas some families are considered housing insecure because they are spending more than half of their income on rent and utilities. And whereas there were 223 students identified as homeless during the 2015 and 16 school year by the North Shore School District. And whereas the combined cost burden of housing plus transportation can be substantially reduced by locating affordable housing opportunities in proximity to transit. And whereas all home community identifies affordable housing as a critical component of making homelessness rare, brief, and one-time. And whereas the Association of Washington Cities determined that enhancing efforts to increase affordable housing, decreasing homelessness, and improving a strained behavioral health system was a critical priority to the 2017 legislative session. And whereas the United, in an effort to raise public awareness, communities throughout King County are participating in local Affordable Housing Week efforts to inform the public of the critical need to preserve and increase affordable housing in our communities. And whereas the City of Bothell endorses the goals, objectives, and purposes of Affordable Housing Week, and in doing so, recommits itself to ensure that our community thrives with opportunity, and that all people in it live with dignity in safe, healthy, and affordable homes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Bothell does hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through the 22nd, 2017 as Affordable Housing Week. Thank you. Yeah, did you want to say a couple comments? Okay, go ahead. You get that. That's yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for proclaiming April 15th to the 22nd as Affordable Housing Week, and for your recognition of the urgent need for affordable homes in Bothell and across the east side. Too many families in our region are struggling just to stay housed, and too many students in our classrooms do not have a stable place to call home. We can't expect our children to be the next generation of innovative leaders when we don't provide them the basic resources to learn, grow, and thrive. Our goals for Affordable Housing Week are not only to call attention to the level of need, but also to highlight policy solutions and the important work that is currently being done to make a difference. For example, cities around the region are implementing mandatory affordability, seeking new revenue sources, engaging the business community in partnerships, and exploring other policy tools to increase affordability and housing options so that people who work here can live, thrive, and retire in their communities. Bothell's first ever contribution to the Eastside Housing Trust Fund was a great start. I'd like to invite you to attend some of the events that we have planned to learn about both the people we serve and the policy tools that you can use to be part of the solution. I challenge you to visit some of the East Side communities served by affordable housing and shelters, and to get to know the people who stay there and work there. Imagine Housing and HopeLink staff would be happy to assist you with this. Beyond this week, we hope that you will continue to support affordable homes with all the tools available to you, using them to create a strong, diverse, and healthy community. I have here a list of resources and upcoming events to help you learn more about both the scale of the need and the human impacts that a lack of affordability can have on families and communities. All of you are welcome for a tour of Imagine Housing properties, and you can contact me or any of the Imagine Housing staff if you have any questions. So thank you again for this proclamation and for your dedication to solving this issue. Thank you. And I have a few copies here.
Okay, Councilman, give us that.
Thank you. And that's my business card if you have any questions. Okay, thank you.
All right, Chief, will you come up here for just a second? So, this is a proclamation for Chief Bob Van Horne. Appreciation. Whereas Bob Van Horne entered the fire service with the City of Renton on July 7th, 1981. And whereas Chief Van Horne joined the City of Bothell as Fire Chief on September 21st, 2009. Whereas Chief Van Horne has honorably served in the fire service for 36 years. Wow. Whereas Chief Van Horne implemented a reorganization within the Bothell Fire and EMS Department, which established a community risk reduction division, thereby emphasizing the vital role of fire prevention. And whereas Chief Van Horne initiated a wildland fire program, which provides Bothell firefighting assistance to areas in emergent need around the state. And whereas Chief Van Horne led the Bothell Fire and EMS Department through the Great Recession with care and compassion. And whereas Chief Van Horne simultaneously led both Bothell and Woodinville Fire and EMS departments for 2 years. And whereas Chief Van Horne has become a true friend to his many coworkers and citizens of Bothell. And whereas we celebrate Chief Van Horne's invaluable contributions to service and friendship. And whereas we wish Chief Van Horne all the best as he leaves the city and enjoys the next chapter of his life. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Rayam, the mayor of the city of Bothell, do hereby proclaim the city of Bothell's appreciation to Bob Van Horne for his many contributions to the city of Bothell and our greater community. Thank you, Chief.
Well, first of all, you know that I didn't do all that. I had a lot of help, so that's the first thing I wanted to share. The second thing is, Jim Ropke, as you take over interim chief, be ready. You're always going to need to be ready to say a few words, so here we go. If you were to look up the dictionary of a blessed man in the dictionary, I think you'd see my picture. I've had a career that has gone beyond what I could have even imagined and hoped for. I've had the opportunity to serve 2 cities and 4 fire districts, and it has been a joy to live a life of service. So thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much for the support, for the uniformed members, the District 10 commissioners here, my fellow directors, and staff of the city of Bothell. Thank you so much for making this a valuable experience for me. I will always remember this, and my joke is I hope I never get Alzheimer's because I want to remember the life I've had, so thank you.
Great. Just wanted to, Bob, appreciate all the representative work that you've done here in the city of Bothell. You have represented us well in the region. I appreciate the leadership that you've had here with our fire department. I think we've seen some interesting times over the last several years with a lot of the things that the council has considered, and we ask you to do and move forward on. And through it all, you've held your head high. You've worked with great integrity, and I think you've been a phenomenal leader for our city. I appreciate all that you've done. I've not had the privilege to see all of the history of your work over the last 36 years, but who you are as a man is very representative of a man of honor and great strength. So thank you so much for all that you've done.
Councilmember Spivey?
Great. Thank you, Chief. I've had the pleasure and the honor of working with you at both cities in a different capacity, and I just want to say thank you at both of those, and it's been a pleasure for me, and that you have served both communities well. So again, thank you for your service, and enjoy this next phase.
Councilmember Agnew?
Well, Chief, I've probably known you the longest of anybody up here. Well-deserved. Thank you for everything you've done for the city, and enjoy the next part of your life, please.
Deputy Mayor?
We haven't worked together long, but I really appreciate when we've talked to your honesty and your integrity, and it becomes rarer and rarer, it seems, to find someone with so much integrity. So thank you so much, and enjoy your retirement immensely.
And thank you, Chief. I appreciate everything that you've done for the city. I have a couple memories of you. But 36 years ago, did they have those fire trucks with the pump in the back that you guys operated to shoot the, okay. No horses even, wow. I thought they'd been around. When we had our fire this last summer, the chief and I were at the press release, and I just remember he was this calm, he was the rock, you know, and he really, I just had a lot of comfort knowing that you were in charge and controlling and managing over 16 different fire departments. And it was done seamlessly from your end, and I really appreciated that. One of the funny things, I think one of the media asked him, was like, have you ever seen a fire this big before? And he was like, kind of nonchalantly, yeah, it was, you know, you had the exact date, and you just spit it out, and everybody laughed, but you didn't. But it was just one of those things that was amazing, that I really do appreciate your service, and best of luck retiring. Okay, with that, we are into, I skipped right over the public engagement opportunities. Can you pop those up real quick? Bike to Work Day, May 19th from 6 to 9 a.m. at UW Bothell. obviously on the trail, I would imagine. Safe Streets and Sidewalks Pedestrian Flag Celebration, May 22nd at 10 a.m. at Frank Love Elementary. Community Resources Day, May 26th, 2 to 4 p.m. at Cascadia College Mobius Hall. Sustainamania, June 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bothell Operations Center. And the last one is the Freedom Festival, which is July 4th. Wow, that's already on the agenda. Pancake Breakfast, Children's Parade, 4th of July Parade Festival. Festivities begin at 8:30 a.m. Wow, we're going to have that on there for months. Okay. All right. So the next item is we move stuff. The staff briefing. So we have our new tourism coordinator to introduce herself and provide a few comments. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Mayor and Council, for inviting me here tonight. I'm so excited to be working here at the City of Bothell. I've been following what's been going on here for a number of years in the paper, and just so impressed with that combination of economic development that I'm seeing down along the downtown area, but at the same time kind of maintaining the core values of who you are as a community, the historic, and those are things that mean a lot to me. And I've been here about 2.5 weeks now, so getting myself familiar with the Explore Bothell brand, and I had the opportunity to meet LTAC in a meeting the second day I was here. It's been wonderful, and everyone has been so welcoming and kind, and just really happy to be here. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. Councilmember Freed.
Am I correct? Your name's DeNae?
Yes.
Oh, great. Perfect. DeNae, welcome to Bothell. Glad you're here. Hope it's for a lifetime, not just for a day. That's our little phrase. I don't know if you know that yet.
I don't know if it will be as long as the chief, but it'll definitely be for quite a while.
Well, I think the role that you have can have a tremendous impact on our community. We used to have somebody in this position many different years ago, and I'm glad that we're filling this position again. I think it's a very vital one. And the good thing is you have a lot of material to work with. I think there's a lot of great benefits that we offer, and it seems that you're a person with some energy and positive attitude, and I think that will go a long way here. So thank you so much for coming to Bothell.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so we're into the visitors' comment section. I gotta find. We changed the protocol manual recently, so I gotta find where we have the new lingo that I'm supposed to read before the public comment section. Okay, each person addressing the council will give his or her name in an audible tone of voice for the record, and unless the council grants further time, shall limit the address to 3 minutes. No person other than the council and the person having the floor will be permitted to enter into any discussion, either directly or through a member of the council, without the permission of the mayor. And with that, we have Carolyn O'Connell.
Hi. My name is Caroline O'Connell, and I'm here tonight as someone who grew up in Bothell and someone who now works in Bothell. I'm a case manager with HopeLink, and I work just down the street in an affordable housing property. And for those of you, I work for HopeLink, and for those of you who don't know, HopeLink is a local nonprofit agency that provides critical services for our neighbors living in poverty. So things like GED classes, food banks, emergency financial assistance, and housing and case management. And so that's the job that I do with housing and case management. And I'm here tonight to thank you for proclaiming Affordable Housing Week in our city. The availability of affordable housing is something that's really important to me. Each day in my job, I see people struggling to find and to keep their housing. The low-income and formerly homeless families that I work with are so grateful to be living in affordable housing here in Bothell. It's a city where they feel safe, it's where their children can get a great education, and where there's opportunity to work. Bothell's a great place where families have a future, and it's a place that families really want to stay. Families in my housing program only stay in the program for a few years, and then they move on. And many times they don't want to leave Bothell when they're done, so they're working as hard as they can to find affordable housing in this area, housing outside of HopeLink's housing program. It's really important that affordable housing options continue to exist for Bothell residents. More than one of my families plan to move out of the program here in 2017, and many of them plan to stay in Bothell. For example, one of my clients is a single mother with 2 small children, and she's ready to move out of the program into affordable housing, hopefully in a tax credit unit in our area. She has a full-time job, she has friends in the area, she has childcare set up for her family, and her oldest just started in the North Shore School District. My clients gain self-sufficiency here, support their children throughout school here, and they desire to work and to retire here. I want to thank you for continuing to show that affordable housing is important in Bothell. Thank you for the work you've done to keep families, North Shore School District students, and other children and individuals from being homeless in our area. Thank you for recognizing the urgent need for affordable homes in Bothell and across the east side. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Nikki Olivier Hellenkamp.
Good evening. I'm Nikki Olivier Hellenkamp with the Housing Development Consortium Seattle-King County, and I just wanted to quickly echo our thanks for the Affordable Housing Week proclamation and for Bothell's contribution to the Eastside Housing Trust Fund. Very excited. And also just to say that we're eager to see how the housing strategy plan takes shape, and that we're happy to be a resource as the Planning Commission and eventually the council begin work on that. So following that and excited to see how it goes. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next is Barbara Graham. Or can you read that?
That's Betcher.
Betcher, okay.
My name's Barbara Betcher, and I am a resident of Bothell, about 10 years now, and also a small business owner. And I just, first of all, wanted to say thank you so much to the leadership of this community for the revitalization plan and what's happening in Bothell, the changes that are happening, and the positive changes that are happening. The sense of community here is really special, and it will just continue to be that way. I've recently heard about Parcel A, the buyers for Parcel A possibly backing out, and I wanted to take the opportunity to come and just suggest about a skate park for Bothell. We had a skate park, and I'd heard rumors that the modular units that had made up the skate park had been put in storage. And I don't know what the plan was, and maybe this is not the time, but I wanted to take the opportunity, hearing about Parcel A, to possibly talk about the skate park because of the location, the proximity to Bothell Landing Park, and just the positive what it could do for the teenagers of Bothell. You know, there's a lot of wonderful things and places and things to do for families, especially families with young children. But when the kids get to be 10, 11, 12 into their teen years, they really need a place to go. They need a place to hang out. They need something to do, and to provide that for our kids, I think, would be a real positive thing. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration, and I look forward to hearing more.
Good, thank you. And you would know that's on our agenda tonight?
I didn't.
Okay, yeah, it'll be on our agenda. It's the last item on our agenda. If you wanted to stick around, or you can watch it on TV or the record. Next is Al Fagenbaum.
Hi, gang. I'm back. I just want to make a couple of very short comments about Aaron's gang. Again, those guys do a great job. I'm fairly often in touch with Tim about problems I find on the city sidewalks, and within a day or two, they're fixed. I mean, it's just amazing. I can't believe any other city provides that kind of service to the people that live in their communities. So congratulations to Aaron and your gang, Tim and the boys. They're just great. I have a suggestion to make. I wonder if it would be a good idea to put a little brief blurb in the Bridge magazine asking citizens to let Tim know or Aaron know of any problems they see in the city, in the streets, or the sidewalks, whatever, so we can keep the city in good condition, because the guys respond very quickly when they get input. So I'm just suggesting that maybe you can put something in the Bridge to that effect, that asks people to, if they see a problem, notify the city. call, give him Tim's email address or whatever, because he will respond. I mean, he's just great. I can't applaud him enough. I know I've done this before, but it's been just amazing how he continues to perform it at a level, you know, up here. Just really, really great. And I appreciate it for myself, and I'm sure other people would too. So that's one of the reasons I came here. I have a question, if I can ask, on a completely different subject. Trader Joe. I would love to see a Trader Joe's store in Bothell. And I've been looking at the 522, 527 interchange. I'm just wondering, is there any property down there that would be suitable for a Trader Joe's store? Because to me, that would be a fantastic location. But I've also heard yesterday that there are 2 hotels going in down there. I don't know whether you guys are aware of it or not.
I'm going to pass you off to the city manager. Is that okay?
What was that?
I'm gonna have the city manager answer your questions.
Oh, okay.
During the public comment, we don't usually do the dialogue thing, just so we can get through our meeting. But yeah, we have answers. We know the answers to those questions.
Okay, I'll go talk to her.
All right.
Hey, you. You're retiring now. You got to look for another job. Home Depot's hiring. Just want to let you know.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into our closed session for labor negotiations pursuant to our. Oh, I'm sorry. Did anybody else want to give public testimony? There we go. Go ahead and come up to the dais there. On the dais. Go ahead and come up to the podium.
My name is Hugh Moog. I live at 11100 Northeast 174th Street here in Bothell. I've been a resident for over 20 years and have been a proud Bothell firefighter for all of that time. And I've also been the lead negotiator for Bothell's contract for I think all of that but 6 months. So I got drafted into that fairly early. And I'm going to do something that I have never done before in those 20 years, and that is make a statement about a contract issue in a public forum. I've never done that. I've come to you and talked about regionalization a whole lot, probably more than anybody wanted to hear. I've talked about Nick Madroza's park. I've talked about fire department issues, but I've never talked about the contract. And to say that our first mediation meeting went poorly would be a dramatic understatement. And several times during that process, we were told that this was a council-driven decision on some issues to bring forward. And the only thing that I would like to say is that there's 2 sides to every story. You guys have an immense amount of power over the lives and livelihoods of our professional firefighters, and our team stands ready to talk with anyone that is interested in knowing how we got to this place and a little history. And I just I'm asking you to come and chat with us before dramatic decisions are made on whether or not we go to a labor process that is very hard on fire departments. I think all of you that know me personally know that I love the Bothell Fire Department, and I want it to be the very best fire department that we can possibly be. And I completely applaud the 7 of you for the additional influx of money that you've given to the fire department. Our training budget is so well received. If you could see the motivation that happens at our training drills now, you would be you'd be nothing but proud, because I am. So thank you for that. But let's not take any chances with our relationship. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that wants to give public comment? Seeing none, we're going to go into labor negotiations pursuant to RCW 4230-144A. And so it'll be a closed session, and we need 45 minutes. So we'll be back at 7:15.